Hey everybody! Today is the day I have been waiting for a whole year. This is probably the biggest 3D printer I will ever own. And I'm going to unbox it right here on Noizie Works. They weren't lying that they would ship it in a wooden box. Oh my god, it's huge. It's huge and they put the sticker on the outside. I have seen pictures of this box in all sorts of damaged shapes, missing legs, just no wooden boxes. They just come with the inside box. I'm thinking like, what the hell is going on, America? Now luckily I'm living in Europe, so mine came pristine. So this will be my first look at the MSLA or the resin 3D printing. I supported the Kickstarter about a year ago, so maybe you'll know what this is. Now they are still up for pre-purchase, but I think that if you want them, that you're screwed for this year, because we had to wait a whole year. And this is only the Kickstarter. Opening this thing up, it reveals another cardboard box inside of it. And to release it, I'm not sure, but it looks like I will have to pull it out. So I'm going to remove the hardware, I'm going to flip it, and then I'm going to yank it out. This is the ELEGOO Jupiter. This is a Kickstarter. I paid $952 and it's freaking huge. Really huge. I have to say that the packaging material is top notch. So the $952 is the Kickstarter price. I think, I'm not sure, I will put it here somewhere. The price to purchase it and pre-order is about $1,200. And when I lift this up, we get our first look at the ELEGOO Jupiter. I'm so excited. Well, it's packaged very well. And this foam oh my god, this thing is heavy. It looks to be in one piece. There's nothing bent or dented or something like that. I have seen so many pictures of you guys on the ELEGOO forums of Facebook. I was getting scared really. I have seen shipped boxes upside down, without legs, with legs, and most of them came out fine. So great packaging, ELEGOO. Whew, this is one heavy machine. Let's take a look at the inside, shall we? So the inside is covered with the extra protective material. We get the Jupiter toolbox. So the people that don't know what resin printing is, this is powered with a UV light, and it used to come with a display not bigger than this. Now I can see the build plate that's sitting in here. This is the build plate of the ELEGOO Jupiter, and my phone just fits on it like this. So the MSLA printing has made some huge leaps in the build size area. Now everything, and I mean everything, is measured in case or pixel density, like your phone. The bigger the pixel density, the nicer the prints will be. Because this is a huge build plate, you get about, I think it's 52 microns of pixel resolution, which means that the finish will be a little bit more on the rough side. Please, rough side. I'm doing this in mega quotes, rough side. because the new printers come with the 8K screen that's usually not as big as this. You get about 25 microns, which is half. Now, Uncle Jesse from America has made some videos comparing some printers with the super fine resolution and the about 25 microns and the 50 micron resolution, and the differences are noticeable, but they are not. It's all about the perspective you're watching it. Okay, enough rambling. We have our build plate. We have some nice packaging on the insides, like that. The vat. The vat comes with two big thumb screws, right here and right here. And we have a giant ball screw lifting up the build plate every time it takes a UV picture. So my pledge from Kickstarter came with two vats, but I already got the email that the accessoires, I don't know how you call it in English, that the second vat basically is coming at a later point. These are the two screws that hold in the vat, and the vat is freaking huge. Look at this vat. So this is where you pour in your resin, and they made a little notch which fits, oh my god. And they made a little notch so you can put in a resin bottle and it will auto feed the resin when it gets empty. Nice. Powering on the Jupiter, you get a power brick. This is a 24 volt, 7.5 amp, 180 watt power brick. You plug it in on the side and you have a switch. We get a power on screen. And we can hear the first whirls of the fans that's inside. I must say it's a bit louder than I want to hear. It's not super bad, but it's noticeable. Once inside, we are greeted with two LEDs. These are the cool white instead of the warm white. In the beginning of the Kickstarter, they presented this with the warm white. I think the cool white is much better. We have the giant ball screw, we have the giant double linear rail, and we have the giant screen. The screen is 6K, it's a mono screen, so I think it means that it's not an RGB with a lot of subpixels, it's just one pixel, it's on or off, so you get a lot more of UV light coming through the screen. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. So this is what is coming in the box. We have our power supply, the 24 volt one. We have some 2 pieces of FEP release film liner, so you get some spare screens. Then of course you have the giant build plate that comes with these giant screws. Then we have a toolbox. Of course we got the instructions on how to level the freaking huge build plate. Then inside the box we get 2 masks. We have a screwdriver, some screws, we got some of these. We got a Jupiter booklet. We got our Cheeto Pro license card, so you get 1 year of free Cheeto Box. We got the air purifier. Now this could be something interesting. There is a little USB port in the bottom and there is a little port down in the sides to just plunk it in like that. So inside we have some carbon material. This is to get out the stench, I think. But as you can see, it's still wrapped in this plastic. So if you are receiving your printer, you're doing good by pulling it apart, looking if it has some plastic around it, because otherwise this is not going to work. So I will do just that. On the other side we have a USB fan, pulling air from the sides, pushing it up top into the honeycomb pattern, and this is it assembled. Then we have some strainers to strain your resin. I'm going to keep it aside, and I think it's probably, if you have some failed prints, you can filter your resin so it doesn't have chunks in it. We get some, I think it's latex gloves. We got the bottle adapters, so you can screw on a bottle and plunk it into the build plate, and then it will auto feed. We have a plastic scraper. We have some nippers. This is going to help with removing your supports. This is the USB thumbstick, which you should just burn in hell, apparently. And we got some scrapey things. That's not all. I already bought some flex plates. This is also from a Kickstarter from Moreno, as you can see. And I ordered 2 2 flex plates. This is the first one. So this is going to help remove prints from your print bed, and I will be testing these out. Connectivity wise, we have our USB port, we have our network port, and we have our on and off switch with the DC jack. Then on the back side we have nothing really except for this vent plate right here, and the other side is clean, nothing on it, nothing to be seen. Back on the inside, this is the USB plug. And you plug it in like this, and normally this should work now. I see a lot of light, I see no working. It is spinning, but very slowly. This is so weak, I would be surprised that it actually did something. We obviously got our print button. There's no USB, so there's no files. I have to say that this screen is huge, which is nice. We got tools. We got manual, set Z. I think this is to set your Z height when leveling. We got our back button. We have tank clean. Tank clean is a nice feature when you have failed prints stuck on your fab film. You can do tank clean. It will cure the whole bottom layer, and then you can peel it off and it should be nice and tidy again. We got our manual button. This is very silent, by the way. You cannot see this. This is the sound of the printer itself. I'm gonna put my mic in it, like this. And we're going to move the printer up and down. It's fairly quiet. I'm going to guess that this is your end stop. When it reaches a certain point, it will trigger the system to stop it, hopefully, so we don't crash the screen. So now I'm going to try and level the build plate. The build plate has 4 dimples on top, which match these things right over here. And we got a giant turn thingy to fasten it, I guess. So the build plate is in. Then the next step, this is supposed to be the leveling card. So we have to put it on top of it, like this. Then we have to push this button, the home position. So it will lower down till it touches the probe. Then it will raise again, like this. And then it will go back again down, but very slowly to be very precise. Just like that. Now, the instructions say to do a cross tightening. That's what I'm going to do. The instructions also say to put some weight on the plate, like this. And then the last thing we want to do is tighten the build plate. Okay, now we can raise it, take out the card, and we're done. So they are not giving any references to put in the new Z height when leveling. So you guys at the Facebook group, I don't know what you're talking about. Apparently you just tighten the build plate and that's it. One thing I noticed when tightening the build plate is that you can see this thing bowing. I will take a little close-up of it. Watch it when I tighten it. I don't know how much to tighten it, because the instructions don't say how much you should tighten it. Tighten the L handle. Nope, they are not saying anything. We got everything leveled. Now let's take a look at the other menus. We have floodlights. That is just turning on and off the lights up top. We have about. Yeah, I don't think that is very handy. We get the sound thingy. I think you can turn off the screeching sound. Alright, we have language. I can set it at my native language, Dutch. Nice. But I'm gonna leave it in English, which is much easier for the, if I have some troubles. Service, you get all the info from ELEGOO. And then we have internet. Then last thing I want to test is in the toolbox is the exposure setting. And I think exposure is to test out the screen, which we are going to do right now. All right, exposure 15 seconds. Next. and we get the ELEGOO screen right over here, and it's all looking nice and dandy. One thing I already see is that even with the 2 LEDs inside, it's going to be pretty hard to see what's going on, and that is because the glass is tinted to resist UV light and premature curing. This was my first look of the ELEGOO Jupiter. The build quality looks to be good, the packaging was great, we got some spare parts. Now I need some time to print some stuff. If you have any comments or suggestions what I should do with this printer, leave them down below. And if you want to see what I'm going to do next, this box is going to be a curing oven. Now why don't you press the subscribe button? Alright guys, that's going to be it for me. Thank you for watching, and I see you in the next one.